What if your body already knows what's coming before your mind does? Quantum intuition isn't a mystical idea, it's your nervous system reading the field before your thoughts can even catch up. We've all felt it before, that unexplainable knowing, the text you send right before someone messages you. The moment you hesitate before turning down a road, only to hear later there was an accident there. It feels like coincidence, but what if it isn't? Nearly a century ago, the yogi Paramahansa Yogananda called this kind of awareness soul guidance appearing when the mind is calm. He taught that when the mental noise fades, intuition, the bridge between the soul and the intellect, can finally be heard. One story from his life captures this perfectly. Yogananda was preparing for a long journey when a sudden, unmistakable feeling told him to wait. No reason, no logic, just an inner pull, a quiet but absolute not yet. Moments later, news arrived that the train he'd planned to board had been involved in a serious accident. He changed his route, and the sense of peace returned instantly. To him, this wasn't magic, it was alignment. He believed the body, when calm, becomes a sensitive receiver for information beyond the ordinary senses. And today, science is starting to catch up. Studies on predictive anticipatory activity show that the body's signals, tiny changes in heart rhythm, skin conductance, and microelectrical activity, can shift seconds before a stimulus appears. The HeartMath Institute found similar results. The heart's electromagnetic field reacts roughly a second and a half before an emotionally charged event is even shown to a person. For centuries, intuition was dismissed as superstition or luck, but now, evidence suggests the body is literally reading the field, a living antenna tuned to the quantum information that surrounds us. So the real question isn't whether intuition is real, it's whether we're calm enough to feel it. Let's break this down, because quantum intuition isn't just poetic language, it's describing something measurable, observable, and profoundly human. For decades, researchers have been studying a strange phenomenon called predictive anticipatory activity. In these experiments, participants are hooked up to sensors measuring things like heart rate, brain waves, and skin conductance. Randomly, they're shown images, some neutral, some emotionally charged. And what scientists found is astonishing. The body begins to respond before the image even appears. The heart rate changes. The skin conducts electricity differently. The body knows something is coming by about 1 second. At first, this data seemed impossible. But when repeated across labs, the pattern remained. The nervous system appears to anticipate events before the conscious mind perceives them. The HeartMath Institute took this further. They discovered that the heart's electromagnetic field, not the brain's, was the first to respond. The heart registered emotional shifts roughly 1.3 seconds before the brain even processed the stimulus. In other words, the heart doesn't just react to life, it reads it. So what's actually happening here? This is where the idea of the quantum field gives us a new lens. At the smallest scale of existence, everything is energy. Particles behave like waves, existing in a cloud of possibilities until something observes or interacts with them. This is called the collapse of the wave function, where possibility becomes reality. Think of it like this. The quantum field is a sea of potential realities. Your intuition is like a tuning fork. It can sense the ripples of those potentials before they've fully formed. It doesn't mean you're predicting the future like a fortune teller. It means your awareness is brushing against what's probable before it becomes visible. And no, this isn't literal teleportation or sci-fi fantasy. It's non-local awareness, the way consciousness and energy interact beyond time and space. Quantum entanglement shows us that particles can be connected even when separated by vast distances. In the same way, the mind and body may be entangled with the larger field of reality. This brings us to what scientists call embodied intelligence, the wisdom within the body itself. The gut, for instance, contains over 500 million neurons. It's often called the second brain. It communicates directly with the heart and brain through the vagus nerve. When your heart and brain enter a coherent state, meaning they're synchronized electrically and rhythmically, you feel calm, centered, and intuitive. In that coherence, intuition doesn't feel forced, it feels natural. You just know what's right. You sense alignment or warning instantly, because your entire system is resonating as one. Yogananda said, intuition is soul guidance, appearing when the mind is calm. In meditation, when thoughts slow and breathing deepens, something remarkable happens. Subtle sensations begin to arise. You might feel gentle pulsations, warmth, or tingling in the chest or gut. That's not random. It's your body tuning into the deeper field of awareness. This is why ancient yogis meditated under trees, beside rivers, or in silence. Stillness wasn't just a spiritual exercise. It was a scientific recalibration of the nervous system, long before we had that language. Today, When you sit quietly, away from screens and stimulation, you're doing the same thing. You're lowering your brainwaves from high beta stress into alpha and theta, states where the subconscious and the field of potential overlap. This is where intuition becomes accessible, not as thought but as feeling. So here's the shift in understanding. Intuition isn't luck. It's perception, just happening on a deeper frequency. Your body isn't slow or reactive. It's reading early. It's a living antenna, constantly interacting with the field of energy and possibility that surrounds everything. When your mind is quiet and your body is coherent, that antenna becomes crystal clear, and the guidance you receive, those subtle inner nudges, aren't random, they're reality whispering before it speaks aloud. Now let's turn this idea of quantum intuition into something you can actually feel, because this isn't about theories or beliefs, it's about direct experience. Your body is already tuned to the quantum field. You just have to quiet the noise long enough to hear it. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably with your spine straight. Let your shoulders relax. Take a slow breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Do that again. Inhale calm. Exhale tension. With each breath, become aware of your heartbeat. Feel the gentle pulse in your chest, the rise and fall of your belly, the subtle hum beneath the surface. You're not trying to create intuition here. You're returning to it. This calm coherence is the doorway. Now, bring a simple question to mind. One that can be answered with yes or no. It could be as small as, is this opportunity right for me? Or, should I reach out to that person? Hold the question lightly and don't analyze it. Then, shift your attention downward. Notice your body's micro-responses. Does your chest feel open or heavy? Is there a sense of expansion or a slight tightening in your stomach? A warmth, a chill, a pulse? These are not random sensations. They're data, the language of your intuitive system translating information from the field into feeling. The more you practice noticing these subtle cues, the clearer they become. At first it might seem vague, but soon you'll recognize distinct patterns, a gentle openness for yes, a contraction for no. Your nervous system is speaking, you're learning to listen. After a minute or two, stop asking questions altogether. Just sit in awareness, no words, no seeking. Let the space around you feel alive, as if your breath is dissolving into it. This silence isn't empty, it's full of information. Here, the boundary between you and the field softens. This is where intuitive impressions rise, not as thoughts, but as knowing. If an image, feeling, or insight appears, just notice it without judgment. You don't have to understand it right away. Simply record it later in a journal. What you felt, what came through, what unfolded afterward. Over time, you'll start connecting dots between the sensations you feel and the outcomes that follow. That's how intuition moves from mystical to measurable. This three-step calibration isn't about predicting the future, it's about harmonizing with it. Each time you practice, your awareness sharpens, your nervous system relaxes, and the signal grows stronger. You stop forcing decisions and start feeling direction. Remember this, your body is already tuned to the quantum field. You just have to quiet the noise long enough to hear it. Think back for a moment to a time when you ignored your gut feeling, and later realized it was right all along. That quiet nudge you brushed aside wasn't imagination, it was communication. Your body was already reading the field, trying to guide you toward alignment. That's why I created something special for you. A simple daily process to strengthen this connection and activate your intuitive field. Download the free guide in the description. In this guide, you'll learn how to calm the mind, tune the body, and start recognizing the subtle signals that are already shaping your path. At Fiboprana, we bring together the worlds of neuroscience, quantum awareness, and timeless yogic wisdom, so you can train your body and mind to work as one intuitive system. Not through belief, but through experience. Intuition isn't the opposite of reason, it's the future whispering through your body, and when you learn to listen, something powerful happens. You stop guessing, and start knowing, because your intuition has never been broken. It's simply been waiting for stillness to speak again.